Hello again. As you know, I'm Eli the Computer Guy over here for EliTheComputerGuy.com and EverymanIT.com. Today's class is Empire Avenue for Web Marketing. Let me tell you, Empire Avenue has to be one of the most amazing things I've seen for web marketing in a long time. Empire Avenue is to web marketing in 2012 what AdWords was to web marketing, I don't know, back in 2005. Empire Avenue is just flipping amazing. I feel like I want to be up here and be on like an infomercial to sell you how amazing Empire Avenue is. The only difference is I don't make any money if you start using Empire Avenue for your web marketing. It's just such an amazing thing. It's doubled the amount of views that I get on my YouTube channel literally within days of starting to use it. It's almost tripled the revenue that I get from all my web publishing properties. It is just insanely amazing. I talk about in a lot of these classes about how you can make a lot of money doing different things, with data recovery or with digital surveillance systems. Again, this is one of those things. Empire Avenue, if you use it correctly, it brings in real hard cash at the end of the day. I can say my little web ventures, I have tripled my revenue in about a week and a half of using Empire Avenue. It is really that amazing, that wonderful, that great. And so this class is going to tell you and show you how you can use Empire Avenue for whatever you're doing, whether you're doing a blog, whether you're doing a YouTube channel, etc. It's just a great, wonderful, amazing thing. So if you give me a second, we'll dive in. This class is Empire Avenue for Web Marketing. Now, the first time that you log on to Empire Avenue, you're probably going to be looking at it and you're probably going to be thinking, Eli, this has to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. What am I doing here? And in complete honesty, the first time I ever ran across Empire Avenue, that's the exact same thing I thought. I ran across it like 3 or 4 months ago and thought it was just a foolish, dumb waste of time. Then about a week and a half ago, a buddy of mine in the Baltimore tech scene said, no, Eli, you've got to use this. This is a great thing for web marketing. And, I trusted him, so I used it. And thank golly I did. It really is a very cool thing. It just seems dumb. So realize this. When you go in to use Empire Avenue, it's going to seem like the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. It doesn't mean it's not one of the most powerful things that you have, ever been able to play with. I guess that's a good lesson in life, maybe. Really dumb, really powerful. What makes Empire Avenue so powerful is the ability to do something called create missions. So within Empire Avenue, you can ask other users of Empire Avenue to go to your web properties, your web pages, your YouTube videos, etc., and give those web properties social media interaction. So they can give you thumbs up, they can give you thumbs down, they can retweet, they can subscribe to your YouTube channel, etc. So the power of Empire Avenue is you can drive hundreds or thousands of real, live, honest-to-God human beings, real people, to your website, to your web videos, and they can give those web properties, thumbs up, thumbs down, social media interaction. If you do web publishing, you know that is gold. This is not like those scammy things where you pay, $10 and you get 5,000 real visitors to your YouTube video. That's all fake. That's all scam. That's all spam. This is real live players, real live users of the Empire Avenue system sitting down at their computers in Baltimore and Los Angeles and Shanghai and Bombay and Germany, etc. Real normal human beings sitting down, taking a look at your web page, your web video, etc., and giving you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That is what makes Empire Avenue so powerful. So Empire Avenue is based on game theory. So the idea with game theory is to make real work seem like a game. So you're going to see this a lot. in the future, where basically people are trying to get other people to do things for them as a game. So instead of paying you money, I'll do it because it's fun or something. So Empire Avenue bases their system off of a stock market. So this is a virtual stock market where every user is given a stock ticker. So when you sign up for Empire Avenue, one of the first things that you're going to do is you're going to create a ticker for your user account. So my ticker is ETCG for Eli the Computer Guy. With that ticker, you will be assigned a stock price. So when you first start out, your stock price per share of your stock is 10 Eaves, I think it is. Eaves are the virtual currency of the Empire Avenue world. So you can have 10 Eaves, 20 Eaves, 500 Eaves. My net worth right now is about 800,000 Eaves. So Eaves are the virtual currency. As more people buy your stock price will start to go up. So about a week and a half ago, my stock price was 10 Eaves per share. It's now approximately 80 Eaves per share. So the more people who buy your stock, the higher your stock price goes up, just like in the normal stock market. People can earn money or Eaves in one of two ways in the Empire Avenue world. They can either buy your stock low and sell it high. So if somebody had bought my stock a week ago, they would have bought it at 10 Eaves. It's now worth 80 Eaves. So if they sold it, they would earn 70 Eaves that they can use later, I'll talk about. Or they can earn dividends from owning your stock. So when you sign up for Empire Avenue, one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to connect all of your social media accounts to Empire Avenue's user account. So if you go to ETCG, my stock ticker, you'll see I have YouTube connected, Facebook connected, Facebook fan page connected, Twitter connected, LinkedIn connected, blog connected, Google Plus connected, and a couple of other things. Well, people who own your stock earn dividends based on how much activity you have on all of those different accounts. So if you sit down and you do a lot of blog posts and you do a lot of tweeting and etc. throughout the day, your dividend will go up. So if somebody owns one share of your stock, they will earn so many Eaves for simply owning that share. So this is all basically like a fake stock market. Every user gets a stock ticker, and your ticker goes up or down based on how much people are buying your stock, and then they earn dividends by how much you are actually doing, so your productivity. Now the important thing with this, and you're thinking, okay, so I've got these Eaves, and I've got stock prices, and I can buy them low and sell them high, and I get dividends. Who the hell cares? Well, why this is important is, remember I was talking about those missions where you ask people to go out and do things for you. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe to your YouTube channel, etc. Well, you do that by paying them in Eaves. So you can pay them anywhere between 500 to 50,000 Eaves per mission that you send them on. So when you create a mission, you'll create a mission that says, please go to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. That's the overall mission. You will then say how many rewards you will give for the mission. So how many people do you want to try to do this mission? So you can say 10 people or 20 people or 100 people. You will then say for every person who does this mission, they will get either 500 Eaves or 1,000 Eaves or 5,000 Eaves. So basically the mission is overall what you're supposed to do. The rewards are how many people are going to be able to do it. And then you tell them, well, are you going to pay them 500 Eaves, etc. The cool part with this system is you can scam it a little bit. You know, I'm a computer guy, I'm a gray hat hacker, so you can scam it a little bit. But they do have a built-in mechanism, so you can't scam it a whole lot. So if somebody has already done your mission, they can't try to claim 5 rewards for the same mission. Or, you know, I have a buddy of mine who I had already subscribed to his YouTube channel. He put out a mission to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and their system saw that I was already subscribed to it and said, you've already completed the mission. You can't get any money this way. Now this all, like I say, it seems cheesy and it seems dumb, but this is the power of Empire Avenue. Basically, through this whole stock system, you're able to earn Eaves. You then pay other users in Eaves in order to get them to do activities, and that just drives massive, massive, massive amounts of traffic to your YouTube channel, to your web page, etc. So that's the overall concept. Give me a second and we'll go into the demonstration. So we've talked about what Empire Avenue is and why you should care, and you really should care. I mean, you guys, any of my followers out there, any of my fans, you don't see me this excited very often. This is just the coolest thing since sliced bread. I swear to God, Empire Avenue, I haven't been this excited since I learned how to install digital surveillance systems and I started making like $3,000 in a day. I mean, really, I have not been this excited since that many years ago. It's just great. So we're going to go into the computer now. I'm going to do one of those screenshots where I show you how to use Empire Avenue, etc. Again, with all things, I'm going to give you a warning. One, this is a web-based application. So the day after I finish taping all of this, they could change a few things. So I'm just giving you an overview here. If buttons aren't in the exact same place, you should be able to figure it out. You're my students. You know, I can't make everything perfect for you. Also, you are going to have to go in there and you are going to have to explore, you know, take a look at things. Empire Avenue is much more sophisticated than you will first give it credit for. So it will take you a day or a couple of days to really get comfortable with all the screens. Again, it seems really simple, seems really stupid, but once you really get into it, it's like, you know, it's like any of these strategy games where when you first see it, looks like any moron could do it. But once you really dive in and once you really try to get the most out of it, then it starts to get complicated. So with that in mind, let's go onto the computer and I'll show you how this really works so you can get an idea, get comfortable with it. Again, it's just amazing. So here we are at my computer and we are at empireavenue.com. And as you see, it says social media rocket fuel. And you know what? It really is. Now, as I've told you guys, whenever somebody comes to you and they talk about how wonderful anything they're doing is, you always need to ask to see the numbers. See the real hard numbers. Because if they won't show you the numbers, then they are probably lying. The reason that I like Empire Avenue is if we go over to my YouTube analytics here, you can see what Empire Avenue has done for my views on my YouTube channel. This is the analytics. This is my daily views for my YouTube channel over the past 30 days. And if you can see, for a long time, it's been bumping around with between 5,000 to 6,000 views per day. So every single day I would get, 5,000, then 4,900, then 6,000. These are the views I was getting per day. When I started using Empire Avenue, you now see this growth curve over here on the right-hand side. I went from 5,000 to 6,850 to 9,252 to 10,332 to 10,518 views per day. So each of these are per day. So in the few days I've been creating missions with Empire Avenue, you can see how dramatically this has increased the number of views on my YouTube channel. Again, there is a bit of secret sauce, so I'm not going to show you every single piece of analytics that I have, but do know that all of my other numbers correspond with this. So comments are up, likes are up, how people, organic traffic to my views are up, revenues up. All of my numbers look like this. All of them really did get a little bit of rocket fuel and shoot up and double at least over these last few days. So I really want to show you here that this is the amount of traffic, or this is how much this can improve your website, the number of people going to it. And again, this isn't crap traffic. This isn't spammy traffic. These are real bona fide visitors. I've seen and I've interacted with many visitors that have come to my YouTube channel from Empire Avenue, and they are going on to see multiple videos. They are going on to become my actual fans, etc. Some of them have talked about seeing 5 or 6 or 10 videos. So, in my book, that's a real visitor. So let's go back to Empire Avenue. This is the website, just www.empireavenue.com, and you will see that you can sign up one of 3 ways, either through Facebook,
with your Twitter account or email. So if you're going to sign up, all you do is you click one of these and you go through a pretty simple sign up process. Basically, it says, do you allow Empire Avenue to interact with your account? Yes or no. So I used Facebook, so I can just click on Facebook. And this brings us to the main homepage. So this page here is going to show you a lot of updates about what is going on with the stocks that you own. This is kind of like a touchy-feely thing. It's not really that useful, but it's kind of interesting. So all of these updates here come from people's whose stock I own. So I own 200 shares of this Fisher Moon stock, and I can see that they did a Facebook wall post. I own a few shares of this Nancy stock, and I can see that they rated a video. So this is just people's stock that I own, updates of what they're doing across the different social networking sites. Over on the right hand side, you can see recent shareholders, so people who've bought shares in you. So Ronald789 bought 100 shares in me 3 hours ago. Ben purchased 595 shares in me 5 hours ago, etc. Recent mentions, if people are talking about you, it'll show that here. Recent arrivals. So this is basically just touchy-feely stuff. It's not really useful. It's just kind of interesting. One of the cool parts here is that you can do a shout out to all the people that own your stock. So you can write a message here, and if people own your stock, they will see this message. So you can say, I am creating a video on Empire Avenue right now. And when I do this, I can post this shout out, and now everybody that owns a share of my stock will see this message. So it's a little way to kind of communicate with the people that own your stock. Now the first, this page that I'm going to show you is your profile page. So this shows you most of the information that's really important for working at Empire Avenue. Up here at the top is what is called your stock ticker, so ETCG for Eli the Computer Guy. You see my logo, Eli Etherton. You see my share price, so every share of stock for me currently costs 76.44 Eaves. Right beside that shows you how much your stock price has increased in the past day. So today, so far, I've increased by 0.45 Eaves. When I started using Empire Avenue a little over a week ago, I started at 10 Eaves, and it's just been going up every day. Right beside this, it says dividends per share. So what this is for is if somebody buys a share of my stock, every single day they will receive this amount of dividends or earnings per share that they own of me. So it's 0.48 Eaves. So if somebody buys one share of my stock, they will receive 0.48 Eaves at the end of today. If they own 10 shares of my stock, they will receive 4.8 Eaves. If they do 200 shares of my stock, they'll receive 9.6 Eaves. So simply by owning my stock, they will receive this dividend at the end of the day. Now, if we look down here, this is the most important part about all of this. These are your social networks and how they are ranked on Empire Avenue. So when you're first starting out, all you do is you click this little add new button here, and you're able to add in your social networking accounts to the Empire Avenue account. What Empire Avenue then does is it looks at these accounts and it gives you a number between 0 to 100 based on how valuable Empire Avenue thinks these accounts are. So the more activity you have on an account, the higher the value of the account is. So obviously I do a lot with YouTube, so my account is 43 points. On Twitter, I do some more, that's 23 points. On Empire Avenue here, it's 16. Facebook normal page is 15. Facebook fan page is 9. LinkedIn is 8. Google Plus is 1. And I have a one little WordPress blog I don't really do anything with, is again 1. So remember, you are competing with all the people on Empire Avenue. There are a lot of professional web publishers on Empire Avenue, so I am not ashamed of 43. 43 is not a bad score currently. So essentially what happens is that Empire Avenue adds up all these scores, and then it figures out what your dividend here should be. So this is, think about this as what makes you profit in Empire Avenue. To increase the dividend, that people receive when they own you. That will make people want to buy you more. So the more the dividend is, the more they'll want to buy you. Why the buying is important is, again, as I talked about before, is every time somebody buys your stock, you earn 50% of how much they purchased. So if they bought 1,000 Eaves worth of your stock, you then get 500 Eaves in your account. If they buy, 10,000 Eaves worth of your stock, you then get 5,000 Eaves. You then use those Eaves to create missions, as we'll talk about in a few minutes. Up here, by this big E thing, you can see that I currently have 30,087 Eaves. So this is the number of Eaves in my bank account. Over to the right hand side, you will see my net worth. So the net worth is a total amount my stocks are currently worth and other people, plus this amount up here. So basically all my stocks plus the amount of money I have is worth 386,053.29 Eaves. We scroll down, we can simply see like little shout outs and messages that people give you. On the right hand side, you can see they give you little badges. They don't really mean anything, but they're kind of cute. And then you can also see what your 30-day share price has been doing. Has it been going up? Has it been going down? This is important because remember, one of the ways that people make money or Eaves on Empire Avenue is by buying your stock low and selling it high. So if your stock is continuously rising, then people will want to buy your stock because your stock is going up and they expect to be able to sell it later at a profit. So you really want to make sure that your stock keeps going up. Your stock keeps going up by the amount of actions you do on Empire Avenue, by how many people are buying your stock, by your connection scores over here. So basically, the more you use Empire Avenue, the higher your stock price will go. And then you will be able to do missions. Missions are the most important thing. So here I can go and I can look at my portfolio. So this is the stock that I own. So, as I say, I have my little love affair with Chris Pirillo, and I own 160 of his stocks. I used to own 200, but as you see, his stock value is 513.89 Eaves. And I wanted to cash out. I needed some money back. My portfolio value, I currently own 82,222 Eaves of his stock. So he's an easy place to get my money back out of. There's Lundberg Investment, Derek Jacobson, all these different people. These are all the different stocks that I own. If I want to buy more stock, you can click on Invest, and you can put in how much stock you want to buy. So I can say I want to buy one stock. Oops, I already own 200 of that. You can put 1 to 200. They do limit you. Right now, I can only own 200 stocks in anybody. Laughing Squid, if I wanted to buy a stock of theirs, I can just say I want one stock, and then I can invest. And now I just bought one stock. If I want to sell a stock of Laughing Squid, I can hit sell. And then I can say I want to sell 3 stocks, and it'll say how much I'll earn, and then I sell that. So I now have 692 more dollars in my account. So if I refresh this, you'll see I have 30,524. This is the portfolio. So these are the stocks that you own. If we go back to my profile, I can also see the shareholders. So these are the people that own stock in me. So this Chris Latko owns 600 shares in me. Kevin Green owns 600 shares. Louis Bauer owns 200. Chris Voss owns 600. Marco Polo owns 200. So these are the people that own stock in me. Now we can go back to the profile, and at this point you may be saying, okay, well, how do I buy stock in other people if I don't have any stock yet? That's where you can go to this expand. So you can click on here and it will suggest people that you should buy stock in. So Xanthus and Adams. So I actually already own stock in these people. Windbinder. So let's go to Windbinder. 21.27 Eaves. I can go to his profile, and I can see what's going on. So I can see he's connected with 4 different accounts. He's a new user. Whenever this question mark is here, that means that Empire Avenue hasn't finished calculating the value of this person yet. So I can say he has 5 accounts that are connected. He's currently at 21.27 Eaves. His latest achievements, he's done a few things. So since this person has five accounts already, I'm going to think that he's probably going to be a pretty good investment. So I can go over here to this green button here, click invest, and I can say I want to buy 200 pieces of stock in him. So 200, the total cost is going to be 4,467.56, and then I just hit invest. If I want to do a shout out, so that's where I leave a message here, I can say, I just bought your stock recording a video. He's not going to know what that means. Do a little spell check in here. I just bought your stock while I was recording a video, and I can do a publish a shout out. This now shows up on his profile. So you know, if you just want to say hello, you want to give them good advice, I don't know, whatever you want to do when you buy stock, you can leave a shout out on their profile, and that's all there is to buying stock. So with that, let's go back to the profile. So we can see this is you know what we've been looking at. Now the important thing, and this is the most important thing with all of Empire Avenue, is missions. So missions are where you can do things, or you can tell people to do things and give them these Eaves. So the currency in this world is Eaves. So the more you do, the better it is. Let's see, if we go down, we can look and we can take a look at what people's missions are that they've posted. So this says tweet, comments, shares, G+. So let's look at this. So we can click on this and we can see what they want us to do. So Joe Plinos, have a look to my blog, G+, like and or share, 1, 2, 3 or more, post please. So basically it's saying if you want to do any of these things, please do it. So if I am interested in giving this person a Google Plus share or a Twitter share, what I can do is I can click this button. This says click to complete this mission. This will take me to this guy's website. I'm not going to waste his money since I'm doing this, you know, as a training thing. Take me to the website, and as soon as I go to the website, I earn this 500E reward, and then it's kind of up to me. Like I said, it's on the honesty thing here that I actually do what it asks me to do. So you know, if I can go to this guy's website and not give him a Google Plus, and I'll still earn the 500E, but that's not nice. That's not polite. So if you do it, you know, always make sure just do whatever they're asking. Like I say, I like doing Twitter retweets or Twitter following, because honestly, I don't care about my Twitter account anyway. So you know, giving them a Twitter, you know, retweet doesn't harm anything. So I always look for Twitter stuff. But if you're going to do the mission, actually do it. Up here, you'll see how many are remaining. So he has 28 of these missions remaining. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. The only other thing for those missions is you can say whether or not somebody has to be a stock owner in order to be able to do the mission. So you might see that it might say in order to do this mission, you have to own 1 stock or 200 pieces of stock, etc. Now I clicked on the My Missions tab, and my missions are my missions that I have for people to go out there and complete. So you will get this Create Missions button sometime after you create your Empire Avenue account. As far as I understand, I think you have to the value of your account has to be over 40 Eaves, and then at some point this button will magically show up for you to create missions. So I did not have the Create Missions button the first few days that I was on Empire Avenue. It didn't exist. So if you do not see this button as soon as you create the account, then just add all your social networking accounts and do everything that you should do, and at some point, hopefully, Create Missions will show up. Now, these are the missions that I have. You will see this is the active missions. So these are the missions that are currently running. So you see I have using Windows tools for troubleshooting video, sharing files with web services video. So these all of these are where I want people to go to my YouTube channel and then give me a thumbs up, a share, subscribe, etc. You can see that I have 20 available per one of these missions, and then how many are remaining. So one person has done this, 7 people have done this, and 4 people have done this. I can also look at the reward. So 500E is what I'm willing to give. If I look at the archive, these are the previous missions that I've run, and I've run a lot of missions so far. The one weird thing with the archive right now is you can't edit or look at old archived missions. So once you archive it, you can't get back into it to see what you were saying. Now you can also create more missions than you can currently run. So when I first was able to create missions, I could only create 2 missions at a time. Now for some reason, they allow me to create 3 missions at a time. Well, creating missions takes a little bit of time to do. You have to go in, I'll show you in a second, and create the mission. I like creating missions in batches. So what I do is I create 10 missions at a time. I activate 3 missions and then leave the other 7 to be activated later. So what I can do is, if I think this video or this mission right here has run its course, it's been up for a while, it's been up for 4 hours, nobody else is doing this mission, what I can do is I can archive this particular mission. So I hit this button. This basically disables the mission. Then I can go to the mission that I want to activate, click, I can launch the mission, and now that mission is now active. So this is what I do throughout the day. So as missions are completely completed, or I decide they've run their course, I archive them and then launch the new missions. So this is something I do, one of my little tricks of the trade. Now if you want to create a mission, all you do is you go over here to this create mission button, and then it's pretty simple. All you do is you just fill out the form. So what do you want the mission title is? You can say, please thumbs up my video. And so this is what you're asking people to do. So be kind of a little specific here. What are you going to want people to do? Please thumbs up my video. What kind of mission do you want? YouTube or visit a web destination. So with YouTube, you can do subscribe, you can do like or dislike. I like just doing visit web destination URL, even for YouTube, because that way I feel like people can be more interactive. They can wander around and look at my channel. If you do the YouTube here, the video will simply show up on the mission and they won't actually go to your channel. If you do a visit web destination URL and then you plug in the video page you want them to go to, they will actually go to your channel, and I think they'll do more. So I'll do visit web destination. Then I'll say, what's the description? What do I want these people to do? I'll say, please give my video a thumbs up. Then we scroll down. This is the URL of the page. So what I need to do is I need to go to my video manager, find a video that I want to share. So let's say digital surveillance administration. I go down here to share. Oh, there we go. So this is the link for the website for this video. Then I go back to Empire Avenue and I simply paste that. So when people click on this complete mission, they will go to this particular web page. If I go down, it'll say what reward do I want to give for this mission. So it's Eaves. I'll say I want to give 500E per reward. So every time somebody does this, I'll give them 500E, and then I'll say how many rewards do I want to give, and let's say I'll say 20. So this is where you'll see the mission cost over here. So you'll see that since I have 20 times 500, that equals 10,000. Then they have this weird little 10,000 fee. And so your total cost ends up being 20,000. So if you do 500E per reward, basically I just think it's thousands of this. So if it's 500E, it's 20 is 20,000, 10 is 10,000. That's the total cost. So this is how much your account will be charged when you make this mission active. Then you can go down here and you can give requirements for the mission. Is this for shareholders only, for people who own your shares? For anyone, for non-shareholders? If it's for shareholders only, how many shares do they have to own? minimum number, maximum number, minimum share price, shares owned for at least. I think this is all kind of garbage, but I always do everyone. I believe that Empire Avenue is great for marketing. So I want the more people to learn about my website, the better. So I want everybody in the world to be able to do these missions so that they learn about my website. But if for some reason you could do shareholders only or non-shareholders if you really wanted to, then down here you can promote this particular mission. If you check off this box, you'll see the amount goes up. So for 4,455 Eaves, when you create this mission, all of your shareholders will get a little email message saying that this mission has been created. I don't know. I think this is a waste of money, but it's up to you what you want to do. And then all you do is you click Save and Preview. And so it'll show you, everything. So you can test your claim link. So I can click on this, and I can make sure that I didn't goof up that URL. I can see, does everything look good? The title, the description, etc. And if it does, I can hit launch. If it doesn't, I can hit edit. Or what I will do now is I can hit cancel. So this is all there is to Empire Avenue. Empire Avenue is just absolutely and utterly terrific. I showed you it. It took me from 5,000 views per day to over 10,000 views per day, all by these missions here. Again, the people that are using this service, most of them are, web marketing people, web publishing people, they're even web marketing and web publishing wannabes. But the thing is that they're willing to share your content even though they're wannabes. So it's marketing. So I don't care if you're a real person or a wannabe. If you're sharing my content, that's still sharing my content. That's still getting me visitors. That's still getting me traffic. I swear to golly, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know about other. For other industries, I know for web publishing, for me, this has just been absolutely and utterly amazing. So with that, let's go back out to the real world, have some final thoughts. Again, this is all there is to Empire Avenue. There's some tricks and all of that, but that'll be for another class or for some different blog posts.
So that's the class Empire Avenue for web marketing. Oh, it's just amazing. I know it looks dumb. I know we just did that demonstration. You're probably sitting there going, Eli, this looks like the most ridiculous crap I've ever seen in my life. But it is great. My numbers are through the roof. And again, I'm a business guy. I'm trying to teach you to be business people. So, this isn't about the number of visitors to my website. This isn't about the number of thumbs up I have. It's not even about the views. It's about the revenue. As somebody who has monetized my web properties, I can say since I've started using Empire Avenue, my daily revenue has doubled to tripled in one single week. So at the end of the day, as dumb, as dorky, as cheesy as it may be, at the end of the day, if you've monetized your web properties, this can help you make a lot more money. This is just the greatest thing since sliced bread. The one thing that I will warn you, so when you first set up your Empire Avenue account, you may not have the ability to create missions. It's good. I think it's a normal security precaution where they just don't want a lot of spammers getting on the website and creating kind of spam missions. So they have different levels. I don't know what it fluctuates at, but once your stock is worth between 30 to 50 Eaves, you will get the ability to create missions. Right at any point in time, you may go on to the Empire Avenue's help and see what they have to say. But just think in your head, it should be somewhere between 30 to 50 Eaves, your stock value. Then you'll be able to create missions. Once you've created a threshold, it may take about 24 hours. So I think with me, it was either 30 or 40 Eaves that my stock price was worth. Then after I hit that, it was another 24 hours, and then I got a little create mission button. Man, once I created that little mission button, it's been full steam ahead. Now this is a game. strategy with games can be a complex thing. So you're going to have to think about the strategy that you're going to be using. This was just kind of an introductory class, to show you how all of it works. Well, you are going to have to come up with your strategy for this game. Remember, it's game theory. So although you're trying to make money at the end of the day, you're doing it in a game environment, from buying stocks to getting dividends, doing all this kind of stuff. So you have to think about your strategy. In the past week and a half, I've come up with a very good strategy for myself, and I have done that by looking at the system and by using what I know about social media marketing to game the game. So basically, there are certain things that I know from doing this so long, and so I use that as my strategy to help boost the traffic to my web properties, which helps boost my money. So that's the final important thing that it will give you. Don't get too involved in the game. Don't lose sight that you're there to make money, to improve, the traffic and all that to your website. But also don't be too serious, and remember it is a game. If you go in there and you don't think about strategy, and it's probably just not going to work out for you. So, sit down, play with it, figure out the strategy that you like. There are support groups online. There's support groups on Facebook. See what other people are saying. See what other people are doing. There's a lot of different strategies out there. Find one that works for you and stick with it. You can buy Eaves, so you can pay real hard dollars for Eaves, and I have paid real hard dollars for Eaves. The reason is because Empire Avenue works so well for me that it's cheap. It's pennies. I'll give them lots of money. I'll give them thousands and thousands of dollars at the end of the day that it works so well. But that's one of the things that you're going to have to think about. Do you want to buy Eaves by giving them cash? Do you want to earn Eaves by doing missions? Do you want to do this weird finagling of trying to get dividends and buy low and sell high in stocks? These are all of the things that you're going to have to think about. The one point of strategy that I'll hammer home to you is, remember, at the end of the day, your overall goal is outside of Empire Avenue. The end of the day, my overall goal has nothing to do with Empire Avenue and what my portfolio is worth. It has to do with what my revenue is from my web publishing properties. Anything that makes that number go up is what I want. So if I have to buy Eaves to make that happen with cold hard cash, I will buy Eaves. If I have to gimmick the system a little bit, I'll gimmick the system a little bit. The big thing is, don't get lost in the game. Don't forget, that whole game is all about things in the outside virtual world. So as you know, I'm Eli the Computer Guy, over here for EliTheComputerGuy.com and Empire Avenue. I will be the spokesman for Empire Avenue, but I'm not here for Empire Avenue. I'm here for EverymanIT.com. As I've said, the class was Empire Avenue for web marketing. Again, it is EmpireAvenue.com. If you want to do any kind of web marketing, go over there today, right this second, set up an account, start playing with it. It is the greatest thing for web marketing since AdWords, and it really is just wonderful.